What's up everybody, my name is ChaiPanDuh, and welcome back to another terrible building video. Last time we made this house. It's a kind of starter home out of just the default rooms that they have in build mode, and it's base game only. So I wanted to try to do this again, but instead of making it a starter home with like the cheapest options, I want to make the most obnoxious, expensive house I can out of the default rooms. So, we're just gonna go to this other lot here in Newcrest. And, once again, we're only gonna do base game. I feel like if we didn't do base game, we could get a lot more out there, but it could also get really expensive really fast. So I was looking at this earlier, and most of the most expensive rooms are, like, regal and Victorian themed. Except for the kitchen. The kitchen is this rustic. It's literally called Rustic Delight. I'm liking the green. Let's do that. So I'm gonna do it the same way I did with the other one. We're gonna start by just buying all the rooms. That's smaller than I thought it would be. And putting them out. And then we'll rearrange it to see what we can get. $24,000 office. What is in here that is so expensive? Well, the desk is $1,300. Chess table's $1,000. The bookshelf is almost $3,000. That would do it. Kids room, we've got... Okay, this is actually really cute. Do the green one again. And then for the backyard, we'll do this one. I'm just not gonna put it out till we put the house together. These are all career rooms, and there's no miscellaneous room. Okay. So... I wanna have 2 bedrooms. Like an adult bedroom, and then the kid bedroom. Or teen bedroom, I guess. That yellow is terrible. Let's do the pink. And then we'll do one more bathroom. Alright. So, to just start it out, we have 3 bedrooms. We have the 2 big ones and then a kid's room. We have the dining room, the kitchen, a living room, 2 bathrooms, and a study. And without them being connected, this puts us at $130,000. One of these houses has... Why do you get a window? And why is the door on the same side as the window? I don't understand this game. I wanted to look at the kitchen. I think this specific kitchen was meant to, like, go with the rest of the set. Of, like, the fancy, rich stuff, but the rustic one ended up being just a tiny bit more expensive, because the Victorian one is $15,000, this one's actually almost 17, so why is the lighting so bad? So now we're gonna rearrange. I'd say starting with either So let me delete the... I think having the house open into the kitchen would be good. What's up, everybody? It is 2 months later from when I recorded this because I never actually got around to editing it. And yeah, hi. Anyway, so this took a while. It was over an hour of me trying to fit these rooms together and decorate around them. I always have a hard time with the default room builds just because I don't like changing them too much, like adding doorways, adding hallways and stuff. I like trying to use them exactly as they are, so I try to connect the existing doorways, and that just doesn't work a lot of times. Sometimes it just completely deletes the door when you add walls and stuff, or it'll delete some of the furniture, which makes sense to delete the furniture, but when the doors disappear, sometimes I don't even notice, and then I get very confused. But it's a lot. But I did end up getting the house together eventually. Whiskey. Chill. I ended up putting in a hallway here to connect the bedrooms because I couldn't really get them connected a good way where the house wouldn't look weird, just because of the room sizes and stuff. But I still love that kid's room. It's adorable. But I just put in a 1 or 2. I'm not sure what it ended up being. I haven't actually looked at the build in 2 months. But I'm pretty sure we did a 1 block wide hallway at the end of the build just to connect all the bedrooms together. But yeah, as you can see, I had to take everything apart again. And it just went like that for quite a while. I did end up spending, you'll see later, I spent a bunch of time working on some landscaping and the outside of it. But for rooms that are already built, this took about as long as actually building a house, which is mind-blowing. Hey. She's like, let me squeak louder. I don't care if you're recording. Actually, that's why she's squeaking, because I started talking and been sitting in silence for like an hour. But I ended up going back and trying to move the dining room and stuff around, and I literally think I just took it in and out like 4 times, and then gave up and left it where it was. Because the main part of the house fits together fine. It's the bedrooms and bathrooms that I had an issue with. But this looks familiar. This might be the final layout. With I know there's a bump out at the end, but just adding in some of the flooring and lighting that I grabbed from the other rooms. And then on the outside, I just took some of the windows that we already had and duplicated them around. I changed the color of the dining room. I forgot that I did that. And then... yeah. Just figured to make it the most cohesive, we just used the windows we already have instead of trying to delete them all. It probably would have been better to delete them all and you could just get 1 set of windows, but that feels like it's cheating because then it's not the default rooms anymore. I did grab some different windows, it looks like, to add to the bathrooms. I tried sizing this one down and it broke the wall, so we got a different one. But you know, maybe I didn't keep that. I thought I kept it, but it might not have lined up with the mirrors right, so I may have just gotten rid of it altogether. Finding a back door and a front door. I don't remember if I kept it white, because I know the house ends up being a bit of a dark color. I think I did keep it white though. But it's very plain. I should have probably painted the walls first and then did the windows. But yeah, we did bricking. And now it's time for my second least favorite part of building houses, figuring out the roofs. My first least favorite part is figuring out, not the floor plan, but like house shape. Floor plans I usually don't have too much of the trouble with, but it's, you'll notice that I mostly build one-story houses. I'm not good at visualizing houses to put them together, which is why it's also why I struggle with the roofs. I don't really know how to put them together to see what I want. So roofs usually take quite a while. The shape of this house, I feel, isn't, put the wrong wallpaper on. The shape of this house isn't too unrealistic, I think. It just doesn't feel very, I don't want to say modern, because it's not a modern house. But it doesn't feel very, I guess, aesthetic or flow very well. Like, the floor plan works fine, but the actual shape of the outside of the house just doesn't make sense. And then I was looking at the default room backyards to see what I could add, and I don't quite remember. I know I kept, I think, one of them, or I took the stuff from it and rearranged it. Here I'm trying to rearrange it all together just to get so it fits better. And then I just played around with resizing it, getting everything moved around so it could connect. Trying to put things in places where they actually fit. Now that I think about it, I don't think I used moved objects for this. I've started using move objects in my builds more lately. Usually, for a while, I would just not use it because I wouldn't use any cheats, and I was like, that's cheating, but move objects is actually very helpful, and I don't use it much for, like, placing things on shelves or anything. It's usually just enough to place something off of the grid. And speaking of the grid, columns are the bane of my existence. Can they please fix columns so that they do not snap to the grid? I don't... Let me move my column half an inch to the left. Please. Why? I have no idea why I added the Grim Reaper gnome to that patio, but we have a Grim Reaper gnome on the patio. And a fancy mailbox, and a fancy pathway. Fancy-ish. I don't know. I feel like the fanciest pathway would be like marble flooring. And I don't, I should probably actually look up like really rich houses at some point, because I bet people actually use marble and stuff outside, which sounds like a terrible idea. Third least favorite part of building houses is landscaping, because I can never match them to like the neighborhood. And I always feel like debug is too much cheating, and also I can never find things I want in debug just because there's too much stuff and it's very overwhelming. I did turn on move objects right here because I was trying to put a plant on top of the mailbox. I love these little wildflowers though. I like putting them on top of everything just because they're cute and it feels realistic that you'll have a plant and then you'll have a bunch of little plants around it. And I actually don't use terrain paint very often. I think the most I'll usually do is like outline the house, and that's about it, because again, I can't get it to look realistic or to match the neighborhood around it. And I like using these bushes. I like using these bushes just because I feel like they fill in a lot of space, and it's kind of realistic. Where I grew up, we had a bunch of bushes. They weren't lining the house, they were lining the fence, but we had a whole row of, like, they were a type of cherry bushes. I just stopped the recording just to show off my cat to the camera for like 2 minutes. I forgot that I did that. The recording's on 4.5 times speed right now, so it was just like, cat gone. But playing with bushes, deciding that, I don't know, bushes also feel like cheating to me sometimes because I use them to fill in so much space. And then I decided I wanted more garden, or like more outdoor space. So I decided I'd set up a garden, but like a fancy rich people garden, so they're all in raised beds and stuff, instead of using the farm plots. I usually use the farm plots in actual gameplay just because I've always had our gardens be directly in the ground. Right now we have a patio garden, and everything's in containers, but we're a second floor apartment, and we don't have ground to put them in. But traditionally, I've always felt that, like, every garden I've had where I've been in a house has been in the ground. Stop you squeaking. Okay. After grabbing a person, I tested these gardens to make sure that they were all usable. Just because I wasn't sure if they would work because they were so close together. At least the one there works. I don't know why I only tested one. But I like the garden. This is a very usable garden, Sims-wise. It's not covered, so it won't work in the winter or out of season, but it's a very big garden for... Well, I'm not going to say for this size house. So this is a decent size house. You'd expect to have a decent sized garden. And then I played with rocks because the yard felt empty and I wanted more landscaping. And I feel like rocks are a very easy way to add landscaping. And also, you'll probably see me do this in like every build. I always want to add something to the roof because it just feels empty, like too much space. And I almost never actually find something that I find worth putting up on the roof. I think I might leave these circular windows, and that's usually what I go for, is circular windows. Oh look, the bane of my existence, columns. But this house is up on the gallery if anyone is interested in it. I know I didn't show the final put together build, but it's kind of a mess, so... But it is available on my gallery, just under the username ChaiPanDuh if anyone actually wants it. It's expensive. So, this has been this. I'll probably do at least one more of these videos. Probably one more base game one, where I actually just try to make the house match and look decent, so I'll mix and match with the various base game ones. And then probably try one that's not a base game, because a lot of these are, there's a lot of rooms for the different packs. Like, Island Living. I don't think Island Living could have a functional house. There's a kitchen, a bathroom, and a bedroom. No living, or, well, you don't really need a living or dining room. As long as there's a desk in there. Oh, yeah, because the kitchen and dining room, yeah. Okay, now I'm gonna have to just, like, make a default room house for every build, every pack. Yeah. Let me know what y'all think about this, and if there's anything else you want to see. I enjoy doing building videos and stuff. I'm not very good at them, but I do like. I hope y'all have a wonderful day. If you enjoyed the video, please consider giving a like or a subscription. I do appreciate it. Those weren't the right words. But until next time, stay happy, healthy, hydrated, and wholesome. I love you. Make good choices. Bye.